this rather snappy, won't you? I have some very heavy thinking to do before 10 o'clock.
Hey, welcome once again to another episode of Get It Right Texoma with the Texoma Trio. Mike Hendren, Terry McAdams, Trace Sarala. Very happy to have you here with us. Thank you for joining us on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcast, however you get the show. Be sure to share it with all your friends on social media, and be sure to like and share our Facebook page and go to our website, getitrighttexoma.com. We come here each and every episode to inform you and entertain you. We talk about local news and events around Texoma, and we also throw in some stuff, regional, state, national, and whatever crosses
occasionally
our
international,
interstellar,
and every once in a while interstellar.
Yes.
Galactic, whatever,
yeah. We'll be talking about stuff from the planet Gubadido next week. So, I don't know.
You get that?
Yeah.
Oh, she's
Go ahead and spell it.
Nanu.
I know.
Yeah, we're gonna talk mork for mork.
Yeah. May the force be with you. Yeah. There I just angered both the Star Trek and the Star Wars fans all at once.
Well,
firebombed.
Yeah. Anyway, we have a very special guest with us in the studio this week. Jennica Lambert, how are you?
I am awake.
Yes.
That's big step one.
5-year-old and a 3-year-old, y'all. The fact that I'm here right now is a miracle. They're dressed.
Every day.
Nobody died. It's a good day.
You know, it seems like only yesterday you were on the radio with us, and you were pregnant with number
with
one.
Child.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It goes by real fast.
And now the baby is 5, you said.
Yep, she's about to be
3.
5.
The baby's 3.
Yeah, well, the oldest,
the
oldest baby.
The baby
the
that
original.
was a baby is 5.
Yeah. Yes, 5.
Yeah.
Wow.
She'll be 5 in July. I'm kind of giving her a month, but she's acting 5 now. So.
Yeah.
Well, July's here.
I know. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Well,
right?
It's this month.
One day you'll wake up and she'll be a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah. I've already had her slam the door in my face, tell me she hates me. It's been great.
Oh,
I'm like killing this parent thing, you know? Yeah.
Trust me, it's
They
all
respect
okay.
me. They listen. It's wonderful. I'm so good at it.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, though, being the father of adult children, I will tell you that they do get to a point in life where they look at you and go, you were right.
Well, yeah, they go, at least you weren't as dumb as I thought you were.
Yeah.
I don't know about you were right. But at least, you're smarter than you used to be.
That's all I'm expecting.
Yeah. Oh, one of mine's actually said to me, Dad, you were right. I'm like, yes, I know. I know I was right.
You're like, hold on, say it again and a little bit clearer.
Yeah.
Speaking to the phone.
And about what topic, though? Which one thing?
Well, Jennica is executive director the correct title for you?
She was moving on up.
Yeah.
You should have seen her walk in the first day. She looked like George Jefferson walking in, moving on up.
Strutting, yeah.
That was just another day. Had to get new business cards.
Riverbend Nature Center is what she runs. We talk about you a lot on this show, believe it or
good.
not.
Hopefully good things.
Yeah, we are talking about you
that
behind
crazy
your back.
prairie dog lady.
Yeah. Well, for all of our, I know probably our regular listeners have heard about Riverbend Nature Center, but they're giving the version that we say. What is your version of Riverbend Nature Center?
Okay, my version. Wow. I've been there for 14 years, so I've seen it all. And by seen it all, I mean about half of our history, because we're creeping up on 30, y'all.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's that. That's something to think about. People used to come to Riverbend as children, now have children of their own. So, like, I used to come to camp here. I'm like, you are a grown man. Yeah. Okay. It's our mission is to connect people to the natural environment of Texas. We're a private nonprofit right across the street from Lucy Park. And the whole goal is to get people outside, care about nature, protect the world around them. The only way you're going to do that is if you learn more about it. So our big goal is to get people in the door and, get them over their fears and learn, I want you to learn about red-headed centipedes and why you shouldn't murder them.
Play with bugs.
Yeah, play with bugs, animals.
Touch a snake.
All the things. Yeah. There was a rat snake in my chicken coop last night. It was that something. My chicken was, she was sitting on it. It was ridiculous.
Hatching the snake.
Yeah, like I moved her and it was just like just staring at me, eating eggs. Anyway.
One thing about chickens people don't realize, though, you ought to see a chicken go after a mouse.
They will tear it up. They're carnivores.
Brutal.
Yes,
they are. I've done that. Yeah.
Chickens are dinosaurs.
I didn't
a terrible
realize.
way to die.
Well, we had
a little bit at a time.
Well, it wasn't a mouse, but it was little whatever kind of rats that are
cotton. Cotton mouse. There's so many.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they even
It was a rodent of some sort.
They got a snake too. They'll eat. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Shake it to death and
oh,
tear
yeah.
it to pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chickens are terrifying.
Chickens will eat you. I
yeah.
would put them on the same level as cats. If you get left in, if you die in a house, they're going to eat you.
Yeah.
Probably. Well,
But they
they'll
eat
eat
them.
anything.
Yeah.
Because we have chickens. Of course, we learned a lot from Jennica when she had chickens. She had chickens first.
I still have so many chickens. We don't know how many chickens.
But
It's called Chicken
Riverbend
Man.
is this pretty cool place. You're driving down Seymour Highway, and all of a sudden you see this kind of
Like a
this
monolith?
building. Yeah, a monolith
Yeah.
sitting up on a hill there, and you're not sure if it's an office building or a hospital or what it is, but it's not. It's a really cool nature center.
Yeah, we're 20 acres. We're right in the middle of which we're an urban
There's
nature
20
center.
acres
Yeah,
there?
we're
Wow.
we're nestled right in the middle of the city, so you can come to Riverbend and you can get in a bottomland forest in an accessible way that's just super cool. You're gonna learn a lot about Texas ecology. I love what we all love what we do. Everyone that works there is passionate about our mission, and everyone you talk to has got a different thing they're passionate about. So every time you come, you have a different experience. So it's been fun. I never had the same day twice.
Yeah, the big glass structure that was the is the Butterfly
That's the
Conservatory.
Nature Butterfly
right.
Nature Conservatory.
Yeah,
Well, the neat thing about it is like this weekend I was telling Jennica, it's hot outside.
It
It's
is.
hotter than the hubs of hell outside.
It's very
and
moist.
My grandkids are in from out of town, and of course they're kids and they like to be outside for a little while, but then it's hot. So on Sunday we took them to Riverbend Nature Center, which by the way they are open on Sundays from noon to 4.
7 days a week.
And so you take them in there and you get in from outside, but they're not sitting in front of a screen and playing with a computer. And there's a little path and they walk down. It's a little warm in there, but it's not blistering hot like the same as is. You can see the prairie dogs, see the tortoise or the tortoise or whatever they are.
Fox turtles,
Yeah.
which are technically tortoises. That's a whole thing.
The big old fat rabbit. I have lots of rabbits at my place, but not the ones that look like that one. That rabbit is huge.
No, that's Queenie. She's a New Zealand rabbit. She's a mistake. But she's our mistake. No, she's actually a rescue. We also have a cottontail in there named Bambi. And if you see him, you better go gamble because you don't know.
I didn't see the
him.
I didn't see the cottontail.
Yeah, he's very reclusive. And so he'll come out and be like, and then just go back into the shadows.
Yeah.
He was a pet for about 2 years, and then he needed to be rehomed. So all the animals that we have at Riverbend are rescued, unreleasable. We don't take anything out of the wild. So if it seems a little messed up, it's because it came that way.
yeah.
There was a reason why it's there.
There's a reason why
but
it's
it was
there.
a really cool thing. And then they have docents there that'll show you around and get the animals out and let you pet the animals and stuff like that, or touch the animals and give you some education about it, as well as activities for kids. There's construction paper and glue and
Digital microscopes.
okay, yeah,
They're my
digital
favorite.
microscope, yeah, all
Everyone
kinds of stuff.
is looking at their nails and you realize how dirty you are.
I got a question though, because they've become a problem in town now. But the feral hogs, wild hogs.
Oh yeah.
You guys have problems with those over there at all?
Don't. Surprisingly, we have a lot. Our area is pretty fenced, so
Yeah.
they haven't managed to pierce it. It's but it only keeps out lazy criminals.
Plus the feral hogs heard they got the prairie dogs on guard.
Yeah, they'll tear you up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
tell everyone you're there.
I know.
Yes.
Well, the feral hogs have been seen in the city limits of Wichita
That's
Falls.
nuts. That's
Yeah.
not good.
Well, they follow the river.
yeah.
Yeah.
And because that's the
Makes sense.
food sources, so they're following the river, and they're coming into town, and they're very destructive. So I didn't know if they'd
That's
been a problem for you
I
guys
don't
or not.
think So
No.
Yeah.
Hog-
stay away. Also, we have a lot of hunter friends, so maybe the city give us permission.
I have personally watched a big sow grab a piece of barbed wire fence with her
Rip it
mouth
off. God.
and twist her head until she broke the wire.
Yeah, they're very smart.
They're smart and they're tough.
and they produce like rabbits.
Yes, they do.
I wonder what
And
the
they're
gestation period is on
about 27 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds legit.
and they have 17. Yeah,
I know, cool. Okay, sorry. That's
no, go ahead. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was talking about because I'm thinking feral hogs, coyotes, because it's a check on their population. But do you know how coyotes regulate their population?
They eat them.
They howl. So if you ever go through and you cull the coyote population, because people don't like coyotes, they consider them a nuisance, yada yada yada. They'll when they howl at night, that's how they kind of get a gauge of population, right? So when they don't hear a lot of howling, their litter sizes explode. They go from 4 to 5
wow.
kits to 16 pups.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I didn't realize. That's
It's
awesome.
so cool. So they can actually completely replace their population in like a year. So if you're ever wondering, like, we killed 40 coyotes last.
Is that what they're doing when we hear them outside our house?
Yeah.
Because you hear them out in your house.
They're actually playing with calls to help regulate their population.
And
It affects them hormonally. Like if they don't hear it, there's something that gets turned on in their brain that makes them
get to humping.
produce. It just makes them produce more babies.
Yeah.
Well, I just wonder.
So glad people don't work like that. I'd never go to a concert. I'd be like, I'm staying home. I'm never going out talking to people. Actually probably would just wear headphones all the time.
Yeah.
So that I wouldn't. That'd be, there we go. Like,
You assume people don't work that way.
You never listen to Barry Manilow.
You never know. Come on.
But on those coyotes though, it sounds like they're outside my window. Now I live out in Clay County. Do you hear them?
Oh, all the time.
And do you hear them out where you're at?
I do.
Okay, so they almost sound like they're in my yard.
They're not
right
as close.
next.
They're not as
but
close as you think they are.
Right.
They're not as close as they sound.
Yes.
Yeah, they can be close. Usually, when they get up really close to a domesticated place like that, they don't get really loud. That's when they get quiet. They're looking for something to eat.
They're incredibly adaptive. Coyotes are one of the most successful urban animals. They've able to kind of integrate themselves and actually do pretty well in suburban areas.
And real quick pro tip: if you ever have a dog that's outside and there's one coyote and it's walking behind your fence line, and your dog does not need to go out there because that coyote's not alone. There's a bunch of them behind there. They're back in the brush.
You gotta watch your animals.
They're pack animals.
Yeah.
One coyote will not take on one dog. One regular sized coyote will not take on a regular sized dog in a fight. It would whip its ass, but it can't eat it.
Yeah.
And they're not. Wild animals are not out there killing for fun. Most of them are not.
No.
They kill because they're trying to eat stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So also another thing about coyotes, they will eat things alive. That's another nasty thing. If a deer or something gets hit on the side of the road.
If you're going to get taken out by something, you can get taken out by a cat because they at least kill you first.
Yeah. Most
Wild
animals,
dogs, they start from the back.
Yeah,
You know what
they
I
do.
mean?
It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you're not gone. You're still there, and it's happening.
Well, it's how so many people, it's not unusual if you got cattle, to lose a couple of calves in a single night to a pack of coyotes.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll kill them, and like you said, they eat them alive. It's pretty brutal.
It's not great.
Wow.
Pretty brutal.
Well, the hog thing is a huge population in this part of the world.
Oh, it's such a problem.
It's bad.
I'm not a huge hunter, but I'm all about that. Like that's.
Is this Jennica Lambert's Wild Kingdom here?
Well, wild hogs and fire ants change the ecology in an area. Am I right? I mean, you know more about this than I do.
Terrible.
They will literally change the ecology in an area because they're so invasive.
Yeah.
That they take all of it screws up the whole circle of life because they screw, like even fire ants. They get to where they are so invasive, the ground squirrels and the ground snakes and stuff like they go away, and then the bird population goes crazy. And I mean, it's
everything's connected. And you put one element in,
Horny toads.
Horn lizard, yes.
Or horn
Or
lizards.
no, either or.
Okay, and the red ants, are they related to
Yeah, the
them?
harvester ant.
And then the
Yeah.
the fire ants. What?
So fire ants compete for resources. Also, they're incredibly aggressive.
Yes.
So they will not tolerate any other ant in their area. So if you've all seen the red harvester ant mounds, they're flat. They clear out the vegetation around them, and they're large red ants. They are not aggressive. So if you do have them on your property, it's a wonderful thing.
But you can put them on your hand and they'll walk around on you.
Yeah, they can sting and it can hurt, but so can a human being can bite you, right?
Red ant or those the other ants the
fire ants.
The fire ants
yeah.
will get you
they will.
we've
There's
all
no
been
like
bit.
they're on you. Everyone knows.
And not a fire ant gets you.
No.
It's thousands of fire ants.
They release a pheromone and they all sting you simultaneously. Just make it just cream of the crop.
Yeah.
But the red harvester ant is actually the horn lizard's primary source of food. And so when you introduce
do we have
fire,
any at all around here?
We not so much in Wichita Falls.
Did
but
we?
We did.
Oh yeah, when we were kids.
Yeah.
Oh, we used to catch them all the time.
So
We did too in Fort Worth,
habitat loss is a huge problem. I mean, there's not a lot of prairie left. It's where they live, short grass prairie. So that you have development and then you have habitat fragmentation. So you take two pretty healthy populations and you put a road through it and they can't breed anymore, then those populations get weak because they don't have the diversity of those genes crossing over. And then you have the lack of food because of invasive species. And then you have all kinds of other things that we've introduced, like cats and dogs that eat them. So there's only so much an animal can tolerate before it's like, nah. and either dies or moves away.
But there's been a huge effort to try to conserve and bring back the horny toad population. Is that correct?
I mean, I thought there's a Horned Lizard Conservation Society, and their whole thing is to research and to monitor habitat and horned lizards population. And there's active breeding programs like TCU, I think, has one, the horned lizard.
Well, of course.
Fort Worth Zoo. And
Or
so
the
they
horned
just did a big
frogs.
release.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in learning more about that, Texas Horned Lizard Society, it's totally a thing.
Do they shoot blood from their eyes?
They have a little
They
blood
do.
vessel in their eyeball, and if you make them mad, they can build the pressure up and squirt blood at a person. So I wouldn't recommend it because they don't have a whole lot of blood. So, but they will do that as a last-ditch effort to not make you eat them. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
because why would you want to eat anything that shoots blood? Oh, yeah, that's
I think
enough.
I'd have questions.
Yeah, even if you're a wild animal, be like, oh, hell no.
I can see where even for another animal that would be like a whoa.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I am now
Sort of.
cursed. Yeah.
So what else is going on, or what else does Riverbend do for the community?
Oh, that's awesome. That's a good question. So we have.
Of course it's a good question. It's what I do.
It's my job.
Yeah.
We have a ton of events, and I mean that in a good way. So, for example, right now we have our summer camp. So the next camp we have is Wild About Wildlife. So if you're like, man, my kid really loves horned lizards, or going outside and, adventuring in our backyard looking for things, this is the camp for them. So we will, every day, they're going to be learning about a new animal, going to be able to see it up close, going to be able to touch it depending on what it is. They're going to be able to learn more about it. And then they're going to be exploring the trail, dissecting owl pellets, learning about habitat, how to attract these animals to their backyard, why they're awesome. And then they're going to be telling you all these facts. So that is the 8th through the 12th of July. And I have 6 spots left for ages 6 to
I was
11.
going to ask you, so you still have
Yeah,
spots
six
left? Wow.
left.
Yeah, so you better
As
get after it.
of-
We've
as
been
of-
promoting it and saying
I really
you need
appreciate
to get
that.
in, you need to get in, need to get in, because I know they sell out in a hurry.
So you can make your reservations just online. It's really easy. It's a form. Just fill it out for your kids. $110 if you're not a member, $100 if you are. But that's just one of the programs we offer. So if you're not into that, your kid doesn't like animals, I don't know. We have a Science Saturday Nature Tots that we do once a month. We have Thursday Nature programs that are free, and they're sponsored by the Wichita Falls Area Community Foundation. We have the SIP and science classes. So, for example, horned lizards. We just had one presented by a master naturalist. Her name is Lynn Seaman, and she presented one about the Texas horned lizard and what's going on there. And the next one we have is Penny Miller is going to be talking about hummingbirds. So Texas hummingbirds. So if you're like, I love hummingbirds, this is it's a one night. It's on hold on, let me look at my cheat sheet here. I don't want to lie to you. July 19th, and it's from 6:30 to 8:30. And so what it is it's all inclusive wine, beer, heavy hors d'oeuvres, and then you sit down and get entertained. So you're going to learn something about something that's related to our mission, which is connecting people to nature. In this case, hummingbirds. So I'm really excited. That's a relatively new class. We started that last year, and it's been hugely successful.
Hummingbirds.
She's
Yeah.
gonna-
Hummingbirds.
she might talk
21
about
up.
hummingbirds
Wings.
and HR go together.
Yes, exactly.
Since
That's
Penny.
just, yes, the 21 and up event. So if you don't like children, it's the event for you.
So, yeah, he said, don't bring your 6-year-old
Yeah.
to the sip and serve or whatever it is.
You will not be allowed in.
Beer and wine.
Yeah.
That says a lot about people. You can attract a lot of people if you got a little alcohol there.
It's $25 if you're not a member and 20 if you are. I mean, that's
a
cheaper
hell of
than
a deal.
going out.
Well,
So
sure.
when
it's
is
a-
that
food?
again? What was what date?
It is the 19th of July.
19th of
Yeah,
July.
and you have to
And
register for that as well. But it's just because I want to know how many people we have to feed, not because I'm trying to
Yes.
collect your information. I just need to know how many
contra-
sandwiches we need.
Contrary to popular belief, this is just water in here. No alcohol. Not today.
It's 8 a.m., baby.
A little too early for the sip and serve.
No.
Well, the neat thing about Riverbend, and we kind of touched on it before, but also the summer camps, it's an opportunity to get your kids out of the house, get your kids out off the computer screens. Not that they're not bad, but so many kids walk around with their noses buried into iPads and cell phones and stuff like that. Get them out doing something, and maybe it'll spark an interest for them. And that is one of the biggest things that people don't realize is when you have kids that do well in science, especially the sciences in schools, it has nothing to do with the color of the kid's skin. It's haves and have-nots. And usually the kids who've been to zoos, been to things that have ever been to those sort of things, they do better in those science classes because they've seen what a snake looks like. They've learned a little bit of knowledge here rather than something being completely foreign. Kids that have never been to a zoo, never been to a nature center, never been to anything like that, those are the kids that usually struggle, especially in the sciences.
Yeah, we had 18,000 kids out last year. Don't quote me on that, but a lot of that is general admission and field trips. So one of the things we pride ourselves on is STEM education. So science, technology, engineering, math, we incorporate that in every single program we have. And that includes Thursday nature programs and Science Saturday nature taught. So whether you realize it or not, you're getting some sort of a little tidbit in there.
All right. Well, with the new technologies coming out, I mean, especially with AI getting involved and you can take video, you can observe a lot of science using technology and document things, and if you do have a techie kid, they can also be like a biologist as well that uses technology. I mean, so
I'd like to think that we have inspired children to go on to do careers in STEM. I know that if I didn't grow up here, but if I did, that Riverbend would have been like my home. Like I'm gonna be here, and there's lots of opportunities for your kiddos to come volunteer. So if you're like, I want to get in, it's a really good way to build your resume as well. Yeah. So if you're over 18, you can do it by yourself, but if you're under 18, you have to have an adult with you unless it's camp. So you can be a junior camp counselor. You can, or you can bring a partner with you and come and we'll put you to work. And so it's a really good way to
Those are good responsibility things, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's good to get your kids doing something like that. Once again, as a volunteer, not only do they learn something, they learn a little bit of responsibility as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, getting kids outdoors anymore, it seems to be a challenge, I mean, it just is. I don't know. When we were growing up, we were outside far more than we were inside.
You had to be.
Yeah, you were kicked
You were
out.
told.
Do not come in and out of the house because you're going to let the air conditioning out.
I
or
don't
whatever
know
you
how
heat up the
many
house.
times I heard my dad say, "Boy, close that door. I'm not going to air condition Wichita County."
There you go.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So,
Come back when the street lights are on.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
exactly.
That's how I spent my childhood, looking for lizards and looking for Houston toads.
Yeah, and then it took the TV to remind your parents that, do you know where your kids are?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your children are? Yeah.
No.
Good. That's why I left.
I mean, our
And
generation.
now we can track them.
we practically raised ourselves, guys. We really did. I mean, we practically raised ourselves, for crying out loud.
Well, during the day. Yeah. You had the responsibility, if you were fortunate enough and had good family structure at home, you had the responsibility at night. But during the day, it was pretty much kind of a
And you had to
self-raising.
work out conflict. No doubt you had I know we did in our neighborhood. We had, a little fight here and there among kids.
And we did it without-
but parents didn't ever find out.
And we did it all without cell phones and social media.
How'd you get that 6-inch scar on your face, Jerry?
Yeah.
I did break my playing hide and seek. We didn't fight, but I broke my tooth one time playing outside and hit the air conditioning unit of there was a church across the street. They bought all these houses, but each of these houses they had an air conditioning unit. And
The worst injury I got, I was getting chased on a bike, and I those thermoses that for soup. There was a Mickey Mouse one just on the sidewalk, and I hit it, and I did not go over it, and I flew off my bike and gashed my knee open.
yeah.
That sucked.
Yeah, I've gone head first over the handlebars on a bike, and I never owned a bike helmet.
Oh, man.
Never owned a bike helmet.
I did.
Didn't know what one it was.
No, you're a little younger than we are.
I think that's when
I don't know that bike
When they
helmets.
cared about your brain, it's my generation.
I don't think that bike helmets exist. I mean, I never saw a bicycle.
Y'all don't even have
Well,
seat belts.
and if they did, it was
No
a nerdy
seatbelts?
thing.
Well, they were in cars.
They were there, but they did
nobody
not
wore 'em.
require us to wear.
in fact, we made
bench
fun.
seating? Like you could just get in the back
We
and
made fun of
hang
people.
out?
We made fun of
You
people
could
for
lay
wearing
down
their
and, like-
seatbelts.
We had one of our early cars. We had a '64 Chevy Bel Air, which
just
had
had the
a
lap
bench
belts.
seat in the front, and you just had lap belts.
Yeah.
And that was it.
My '64 Chevy pickup that I had in high school had no seatbelt. It came from the factory without seatbelt. So even when they passed the seatbelt law in Texas, because I was in high school, or we were in high school, I think when that passed, or
Yeah.
right after.
Yeah.
And I still had that truck. I was grandfathered in, and then when I went on base, I had to get harassed about every other time because I worked on base. But they're like, "Oh, where's your seatbelt?" I'm like, "Nope, it's not. There's no anchors. It's not grandfathered in." So the people that worked the gate got to know that when I drove through without a seatbelt on, it was okay because.
Yeah, there's no.
You should have had a sticker on your car.
Yeah,
You're
should have a
just look
special
at the sticker.
Yeah, special sticker. But it was a way different time there.
It was a totally different time.
Well, and you probably had a rack in the back with a shotgun, right? You could drive it.
I did, but not on
campus.
base. I didn't have the
Well,
shotgun.
not on base. No, you wouldn't have got on base.
Yeah.
I don't
even
think
then.
they would allow
But
that.
yes, I did have a gun rack. Yes, that was.
But
that was
Riverbend Nature Center, you mentioned earlier in the interview, Jennica Lambert's our guest, by the way.
Jennica Lambert, it'll say it somewhere.
Yeah, let's say, your name will be on the
How
screen.
fancy! Jennica Lambert.
It's just having on radio. You have to.
The Jennica of the Lamberts.
Yes. but we're also an audio podcast, so that's why we.
But Jennica is the executive director of Riverbend Nature Center here in Wichita Falls. You mentioned earlier in the interview that you're almost 30 years old. The organization.
Riverbend, Riverbend. I wish I was almost 30 years old. I'm creeping up on the other one.
Riverbend is almost 30 years old, which is hard to believe. It seems like, just yesterday we were talking about this new organization coming to town.
Yeah, I remember that.
There was fundraising going on and all this kind of stuff. And now it's almost 30 years old, and it's become if the community lost it, the loss would be felt. People would notice it.
Huge.
The wonderful thing about Riverbend is that we are a community entity. We would not be here if we didn't have the support of the community, period.
Right.
So right now, we actually have a survey going on that I would highly encourage anyone who's listening and cares about Riverbend to fill out, because it's all about exhibits. We were moving forward. We want to go ahead and do some crazy things, but we want to make sure that you guys have a voice, and we want to make sure that we are doing what the community wants. So it's less than 2 minutes. Take it. It's real short.
So how do you?
Can we fill in like a lion? I want a lion. Can we get a lion over there?
Oh, sure. Yeah, totally. No, please, no. I would like to keep my employees. It's
I work at Riverbend Nature Center.
I had an arm. We all have prairie dog wounds, so I don't need anything else with these. So to find it, it's pinned on our Facebook page. So check it out there. I haven't put it on our website yet. I don't know.
And probably right here. I'm sure Terry will have
the screen.
Yeah,
the screen.
link, but it takes like less than 2 minutes. I'd like to get at least 300 responses, and I'm about halfway there. So if you wouldn't mind taking the time to do that, sharing it with your friends, message them, be like, hey, Jennica said I had to send this to you. Do it. That would be great.
I know when we were talking about the camps, there was if you're a member, it's X. If you're not a non-member, it costs a little more. So becoming a member, obviously, you can go to the website, you can fill out a form, you can become a.
So it depends. Our base level, we have an individual membership, starts at $30, so just for you. For your family, that includes you, your spouse, or your partner, and all of your children, is $50 for the year. So if you actually use it, we lose money. It's great. It's good business. And then we have a lot higher levels like Pecan, which includes a tax deductible donation. That's $150, and it just kind of go from there. And those are just donations.
Pecan?
A Pecan, Pecan membership.
So
it's
a
150. 100
membership.
of it's tax deductible, and 50 of it's for your membership. Basically, a willow plus a donation is what that is, and then it kind of goes from there. And you could also be a lifetime member if you're tired of getting renewal letters. It's $1,500 for a lifetime. So you don't ever have to renew, and that includes you, your children, and invitations to special events. There's lots of perks there. So, So what your membership includes is 4 free guest passes, and it would be annual if you were a lifetime member. You get 10% off in our gift shop. You get $25 off kids' birthday parties. You get $10 off our camps. You get free admission anytime, and then discounts on special events. Generally, sometimes you get in for free. It just depends on the event. And it's awesome.
You say kids' birthday parties. That's another one.
Yep.
So a great place for kids' birthday parties.
Have you ever heard? I can't say that. Some friend of mine referred to Chuck E. Cheese as a specific way that made me giggle. But if you are tired of, if you want to mix it up, we do.
If you're tired of the big rat.
Well, yeah, it was kind of like a casino for children.
Yeah, exactly.
I love Chuck E. Cheese. I went there as a kid. I have not had the opportunity to go back.
I don't like Chuck E. Cheese now. I will tell you why. Chuck E. Cheese, when I was a kid, and when I was a kid, and then when my kids were young, we used to take them to Chuck E. Cheese, and they had coins.
Yeah.
And you renewed, you got tickets. Now it's all cards, and I hate it. I go back.
What about the animatronic?
It's cashless. It's cashless.
I hate a cashless society.
It's a cashless society.
It's a cashless society, and I hate it because the nice thing about it, you had something tactile. You put a coin in.
Yeah.
You got tickets. You went and counted your tickets, or you redeemed your tickets. Now everything's on a card. You get a kid, they don't know what their card is. They have to go check it. I don't like it.
$50 eraser.
Yeah. I don't like it. Anyhow, go ahead. Tell us about the birthday parties.
So we have a bunch of different themes. Like we've got our most popular is the butterfly birthday, but we have a dino dig birthday where you can dig for dinosaur bones and make volcanoes and look for dinosaur eggs. It's awesome. A critter connection birthday where you learn about animals. There's one that's based off of insects. Like if you're kids really into bugs, we got you. We've done snake birthdays. So it's really, as long as it's within our mission, we can kind of work with you. So it's about it's 2.5 hour program, and 30 minutes of setup and breakdown, and then an hour for program, an hour for cake and ice cream. So it includes goodie bags too. It's a good deal.
Awesome. Well, so for more information, Where do they go?
riverbendnaturecenter.org. Don't go to .com. I don't know where that goes. So riverbendnature.org, riverbendnaturecenter.org, and then there's several Riverbend Nature Centers in the world. We have a shared name with several different institutions. So just Riverbend, Wichita Falls will get you where you need to go.
And by the way, so if you pick up the phone and it's not a 940 number,
yes.
it's you might be calling like Poughkeepsie, New York, Riverbend Nature Center.
Wisconsin. Yeah. Like, I want to sign up for your kayaking classes. I was like, I wish.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Can you imagine kayaking on the Wichita River?
Walter just did it. He went with a coworker, Koshik. They went down the river.
Down the
kayaks.
Wichita River?
Yes. They said that. He said it was great.
Wow.
I mean, it was running real high. And
when the water's up, when the water level's up, you can't.
Yeah, but you still may hit a dead body or two around there.
I'd be more worried about the sandbar.
Yeah, it's not going down the Brazos. It's a little
FYI, apparently you own that domain as well.
Oh, do I really?
Yeah, because it redirects to the
Oh,
.org.
good talk. Okay,
so there you go.
thank
I had
you.
to, I had to check it out.
That's probably Crane West doing that. Thank you, Cole.
Yes,
That
there
was
you go.
smart.
Yeah. So
That's good. Maybe that was backdoor. Don't go backdoortheater.com.
Yeah, I
I'm
can
used to
sure.
saying that. Yeah.
I'm sure it's bad. So, so you can go to riverbendnaturecenter.com or
.org.
Thanks for promoting that on our show.
Don't go the other
It's
one.
a lovely local theater. If you have not checked out Backdoor Theater, you are missing out.
Yes.
It's
And
fantastic.
speaking of, you have been out. When's the last time are you active in the?
Oh, I haven't really. I
Okay.
had kids, and then my life was over, Terry.
Okay.
So I haven't done anything for myself.
So
Yeah.
we have two individuals that have been on the improv,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess you are alum.
Oh,
because
yeah.
you were in the original.
Yep, I helped start
group.
it.
Yeah, and were you in the original group too?
No.
No. Okay.
Best
So-
fundraiser ever.
I came on later.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
But we have
That's good.
What?
It's-
she was
And
the
we do
founder
talk
of
about that. It's going to be in September's the next
Okay.
next improv deal.
Cool.
We just need to, what you and I need to both do, because it's been a while since I've been around, we need to make a commitment and
Just show up every Sunday.
do one.
And be
Okay.
Yeah, do it in
accountability partners with
Nice.
Yeah.
that. So cool.
All right. Well, Jennica Lambert, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It was great. We'll have you back soon.
All right. Sounds like
All right, Jennica Lambert, Executive Director, Riverbend Nature Center here in Wichita
Yes.
Falls. Again, riverbendnaturecenter.org.
Or .com.
Yeah.
or
they
.com.
both work.
Yeah, apparently they both do work, yes. So be sure and check them out. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Get It Right Texoma with the trio, Mike Hendren, Terry McAdams, Trey Serrala, again, Jennica Lambert, our guest today. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, however you get the show. And again, please do be sure to share this on your social media pages and visit our website, GetItRightTexoma.com as well. Until next time, guys, take care. We'll see you down the road.